My name is Sharon Parker. I'm the president of R.O.A.S.A. R.O.A.S.A means Remembering Our Ancestors Synergistic Association. So we're going to do a one-on-one interview right quick, and I hope that you would definitely share with young people in your community because we want them to understand that don't give up on their dreams, and we want them to understand about RYES. RYES means Rosa Youth Empowerment Series, and that's where we encourage professionals such as Mr. Anderson to actually inspire them to follow in their footsteps, but also to talk about the challenges that he's overcome. So I'll start with, tell me how long, or what were some of the things you had to do to get in this particular field?
I guess for me, I had to be good with numbers.
Okay.
And luckily, in junior high school, we had a career guidance day, and basically they asked questions around what were your attributes, what was your skill set, and talked about the different professions. And one of the things that hit home to me was that they said in the accounting field, if you are good at what you do, you will always have a job. And that basically made me realize that was a profession I wanted to go into. And I was already good with numbers, so it was a good fit.
So I guess math was one of your favorite subjects in school?
I didn't say it was favorite, I just said I was good at it. There's a difference. But no, I did enjoy math because and as an accountant, my appreciation for math is, numbers tell a story. And, when you can see the correlation of numbers and the story tells, it makes sense to you. It becomes second nature, and it makes you good at what you do.
Awesome. Now, how long have you been in this field again?
Almost 30 years.
Wow. Okay. Can you give us a little background of how you got here?
Yeah. Actually, I started out in public accounting. Did 2 years there, so it enabled me to become a certified public accountant. And then after doing that for 2 years, realized that I wanted to move around, but not become an auditor by trade for a career or for a profession. Okay. And then moved over to the brokerage industry as a finance person, and then realized that I really need to go back to school and get my MBA to progress further.
Okay. Awesome.
And so spent 2 years going back to school, University of Michigan, got my MBA in finance and general management.
Okay.
And then after that, graduating in '92, decided to go back onto Wall Street. And I've been in the industry since.
Great. Now, I'm quite sure you've dealt with obstacles and struggles through the process. Can you give a little background about that? And the reason why I'm asking, because today we're dealing with some horrible economical times and social challenges. And so many young people, they give up. Either they'll drop out of high school, or they're going, not go to college, just go to high school and get a high school degree, and then they get a job. So what I'm trying to do is inspire young people to, stay in the fight.
Yeah.
Stay in the fight to get a college degree, to, work, even if you have to volunteer for someone. So I want to know some of the struggles you may have experienced growing up so that they can know that 30-some years ago, the same struggles may have existed.
Wow. Interesting. When I think back, I was blessed to have two parents who were school teachers and stressed the importance of education. But what was basically battling what I was hearing at home was really the peer pressures out in the street. So I grew up back in the 60s in Harlem, predominantly black neighborhood, and, in a neighborhood where people didn't see a way out. So growing up for me, the role models primarily were people that were either drug dealers or basketball players.
Okay.
Forget the whole entertainment industry, but really drug dealers and basketball players. But fortunately, like I said, due to having parents that were involved, it kept me on the straight and narrow. But I always face situations where you reach that fork in the road and the temptation is there. And so for me, the key was having a goal. And so I knew, as I mentioned before, since junior high school, so this was probably 8th grade, that I wanted to be an accountant. But I always had that side of society where it was always pulling me into the street, so I had to deal with that. That was my biggest obstacle.
Okay.
And I think the biggest challenge was really foregoing, immediate gains and wealth and so on by participating in the drug trade, for example, having a longer term vision and being able to say, look, if it's going to take 5 hours in the library to get straight A's and get what I want, I have to be patient.
Okay.
And that was the hardest piece, because I had many friends who came from different circles and different economic situations. So like I said, my parents were school teachers, so we were okay, raising 4 kids. But I had friends who, after high school, had to go straight to work. And so they didn't get a chance to, take their education as far as they should have, due to economic reasons. So, people do what they have to do for various reasons.
Yes.
Myself included. I mean, when I got out of high school, and it's 35 years ago, I didn't go straight to college. I started working in the accounting field, thinking I needed money today, as opposed to, no, let me invest into my future by going on and advancing my education. And so I did bookkeeping for 2 years, and then really realized that this wasn't really accounting, and there was a higher goal for me, and then decided to go to college and get my degree.
I started R.O.A.S.A about 6 years ago. And this is before, Barack became president, and we were all into, hey, we got a black president. But I started it to inspire young people to remember leaders of the past who went through the same thing that you did as far as economical and financial issues, but even had another twist to it because of, the civil rights issues and racism. I'm going somewhere with this, and it's simply to say, how important do you think remembering about positive people like, Frederick Douglass, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, W.E.B. Du Bois, all of these, different, individuals who had a vision for us, and somehow the information got lost along the way. But how important is it to bring that back to the community?
I think it's very important, because it's played a role for me. I fully understand that, where I am today and where I aspire to go is due to my ancestry, and seeing, those in history that have fought hard and, broke their backs and sweated and so on to make things possible for people like myself and my children. It's so important, and you can't forget about it. And what I get scared about is today, when I look at, for example, young kids of color, and young males in particular, and I see individuals at the age of 17 with tattoos on their neck and pants, down to their knees. Something's missing. That education, that ancestry, how important it is, the effort that it took for us to be here today, for us to have a black president, part of it is wasted.
Yeah.
And that's the piece that scares me, because, like I said, if you have a tattoo on your neck, there's a limited number of professions that you can enter. I mean, can you be a pro athlete? Yeah, you probably can. Can you be in the rap industry? Yeah, you probably can, but you're limited.
Exactly.
Can you be a lawyer? No, you can't. Can you be a CPA? No, you can't. And so when you've put those limitations in your life at the age of 17, at the age of 20, it is just scary, because I'm then thinking, what are these individuals going to become, 10 years from now, 20 years from now?
Thank you. Great stuff. Now, I overheard that you volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to your full-time job. So can you tell me a little bit about what you do in the volunteering department?
Yeah, well, I volunteer on a couple organizations, the Mama Foundation for the Arts, which is geared towards getting kids acclimated to theater and singing, and that's founded by Vi Higginson up in Harlem.
Awesome.
And I'm on the board of directors there. I'm also on the board of directors for the Harlem Go Jew Association, and I've been part of that organization for 32 years,
Awesome.
Starting in probably 1981, and it's a nonprofit organization that teaches martial arts to kids all around the city for free.
Wow.
And so I actually came up in the program, and it's been instrumental to helping to shape me. So I talked about the role my parents played, but when I was in college, I was a student of martial arts for 5 years. Then I got my black belt, and then for the last 25 years or so, I give back, 2 days a week by going up to Harlem and teaching class from 6 to 8 p.m.
Awesome, awesome. All right, with that being said, Jeff, thank you so much for your time and look
Thank
forward
you.
to doing business with you and connecting with your community.
This will be great. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.